In this course, we will learn about cell wall, cytoplasm, nucleus, and ribosomes. First, cell wall. Plant cells, in addition to plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering which is known as cell wall. This is picture of a plant cell in which you can see that this is the plasma membrane or cell membrane which is inside, and this is the outer covering. This is known as cell wall. So you can see from this picture that this plant cell has two coverings. One is plasma membrane, and the outer covering to the plasma membrane is known as cell wall. Plasma membrane is found both in the case of plant cell as well as in the case of animal cell, whereas cell wall is found only in the case of plant cells. Cell wall is found in bacterial and fungal cells. The cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane or the cell membrane. The cell wall is absent in animal cells. What is the function of the cell wall? Cell wall provides structural support as well as protection to the cell. Now the question arises, from which material cell wall is made up of? The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. The presence of the cell wall enables the cells of plants, fungi, and bacteria to exist in hypotonic media without bursting. This is the picture of the hypertonic solution. This is the picture of hypertonic solution. If the plant cell is placed in hypertonic solution, you can see here that if this is the plant cell which has been placed in the hypertonic solution, what will happen? You can see that solutes are present in less quantity in the cell, whereas outside the cell solutes are in dense quantity, more quantity. So what will happen? The water will leave from the cell to the outer, and only a few amount of water will come out. The net result will be that the more amount of water will leave the cell, and what will happen? Then the cell will shrink as the water will come out of the cell in more quantity. We call this contraction of the cell as plasmolysis. We have already learned about the hypotonic solution. That hypotonic solution is a solution in which the solutes are present in less quantity as compared to the another solution, that the solution inside the cell. When the plant cell has been placed in hypotonic solution, more water will come inside the cell than going out. So the net result will be that the plant cell will swell out, but the cell wall does not allow the cell to burst. It is only the cell wall which prevents the cell from bursting due to excessive water which has come inside the cell. Next, cytoplasm. You can see here that this is the cell, and the fluid which is present here all in the cell is cytoplasm, which is a fluid, gel like fluid inside the cell. So cytoplasm is composed of water, salts, and various organic molecules. In the cytoplasm there are many specialized cell organelles. You can see here that this is the nucleus, this is the mitochondria, this is the Golgi body, these are the endoplasmic reticulum. There also lie ribosomes and lysosomes. These are mitochondria, Golgi body, ribosomes, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum. Each of these organelles perform a specific function for the cell. Cytoplasm is the ocean in which all the organelles float. You have seen that all these are the organelles, whether it is nucleus or mitochondria, Golgi body, these are endoplasmic reticulum, these are ribosomes. So all these are floating in the cytoplasm. Within the cytoplasm, materials move by diffusion. We have already learned about the process of diffusion in the part 1 of this course. Next, nucleus. In this picture, you can see that this is the nucleus. This is the control center of the cell. It is an oval shaped body. This is the oval shaped body which is floating in the cytoplasm. We have already told you that this is all cytoplasm in which all the organelles are floating. It is not possible to see the nucleus with the naked eye. To see the nucleus, we have to take the help of a microscope. Nucleus consists of nuclear membrane, that is outer covering, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, chromosomes. Nucleus is separated. This is the nucleus. This is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane which is called nucleus membrane. It means that there is an outer covering outside the nucleus which separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. Nuclear membrane keeps the other organelles and components of the cell outside. There are small pores in this nuclear membrane that allow selected materials to go in and out of the nucleus. With the help of microscope of higher magnification, we can see a smaller spherical body inside the nucleus. You can see here that this is nucleolus. A small spherical body which is present inside the nucleus is called nucleolus. In addition to nucleus contains thread-like structures which are known as chromosomes. What is the purpose of chromosomes? These carry genes and help in inheritance or transfer of characters from parents to the offspring. The chromosomes are rod-shaped structures and are visible only when the cell is about to divide. Next, in case of prokaryotes, you can see here that this is the picture of a prokaryote. This is the picture of eukaryotes. In this picture, you can see that the nucleus area is well defined, whereas in the case of prokaryotes, nuclear region is not well defined. It is poorly defined. In the case of prokaryotes, nuclear region is poorly defined due to absence of nuclear membrane and known as nucleoid, whereas in the case of eukaryotes, nuclear region is well defined and surrounded by a nuclear membrane. Now the next question before us is, if the organization, the cell, is destroyed due to some physical or chemical influence, what will happen? We all know that as a building is made up of bricks, in the same way, all the living organisms are made up of small tiny units called cells. Cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. If organization of the cell is destroyed due to some physical or chemical influence, all the activities performed by different parts of the cell, such as growth, reproduction of the cell, production of energy, removal of waste material from the cell, etc., will stop, and the cell will die, because there are many cell organelles which are present inside the cell, which perform different type of functions. And if this organization of the cell is destroyed, then the cell will naturally die, because the functions performed by different cell organelles will not be performed. Now, what are ribosomes? Proteins are synthesized by ribosomes. Ribosomes are sites of protein synthesis. The ribosomes are very small and roughly spherical structures. You can see here that these are small spherical structures. These dots are small spherical structures. Ribosomes can be found floating within the cytoplasm, or they are attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. These are the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and ribosomes are attached to it. Next, thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.